You're not even a real doctor." That was the comment sitting under my graduation photo posted by my uncle for the entire family to see. I was still on the stage when I read it, the lights burning down the reserved for family row completely empty. Another buzz. A picture opened my parents and my sister in Santorini sunglasses, blue water champagne in hand. Caption: "Family time is the best time." The room applauded someone else's name. I turned the phone over, calm, because that wasn't the part that told me everything. I grew up in a house where silence meant agreement. My mother, Diane, never said it outright, but she made the hierarchy clear long before I had the language to name it. She wore a floral apron almost every evening, the same one faded at the edges, the same one she'd tie neatly before neighbors came over. And every time someone complimented her daughters, she would smile and say, "Brooke is my beautiful girl." And Helen, well, she studies hard. It evens things out. I remember standing at the sink when she said it the first time. Soap slid down my wrist. The plate in my hand stopped mid-air. Brooke giggled from the kitchen island, braiding and unbraiding her hair, soaking in the attention like sunlight. My father, Mark, didn't correct anything. He just nodded as if the arrangement made sense to him. It was always like that. Brooke's recital outfits steamed and perfect. Mine hemmed at midnight by me. Brooke's birthday parties planned for weeks. Mine forgotten until the morning of a leftover cupcake, a candle pushed in sideways. When cousins visited, Brooke was ushered forward like a trophy. I was the shadow behind her, the one told to help clean up before the good part started. In high school, when my acceptance letter to a competitive science program arrived, I opened it at the kitchen table. Diane skimmed it and said, "That's nice, sweetheart. Make sure you congratulate Brooke. Her friend invited her to prom this year." Mark added, "Good for you, Helen. Keep working hard. It'll pay off for all of us someday." His phrasing lodged somewhere beneath my ribs, even though I couldn't explain why back then. Then came college, medical school, rotations, residency. Every month, as soon as I was able, I started sending payments home. Heating in winter, the roof repair, Brooke's urgent dental issue. My mother always said thank you in the same tone people used to comment on the weather. My father joked, "Well, our very own doctor. Good thing, too. Saves us when retirement comes around." Brooke sent emojis hearts when she wanted money, silence when she got it. None of them asked how many shifts I was covering. None of them asked how long I had gone without sleep. None of them asked what it cost to get this far. When graduation neared, I wanted to give them something that felt clean. No arguments, no resentment. Just a moment where we could stand in the same place at the same time and pretend we were a family that showed up. My mother said her back couldn't handle coach seats. My father complained about legroom. Brooke asked if her boyfriend could come. I didn't argue. I paid for business class tickets, $14,000, the most I'd ever spent in one moment. I printed their itineraries on thick paper, slid them into envelopes I bought at a stationery shop near the hospital. "You fly out on the 4th, I told them. "The ceremony is on the 6th, dinner after. Don't be late, they're reading my name early." My mother clapped politely. My father nodded. Brooke barely looked up from her phone. At the time, I took their reactions as normal, predictable. Safe. I told myself it didn't matter, but something quiet inside me knew the truth. That was the day I learned exactly where I stood in my own family, not beside them, not with them, but behind them, always just out of frame. The morning after the ceremony, my apartment felt too quiet. The gown was still draped over the chair where I'd left it, the hood sliding down one side like it was tired of holding its shape. I set my coffee down, opened my laptop, and clicked through the photos the school had posted. Rows of families cheering, students pressed between parents and siblings, hands on shoulders, faces tilted toward the camera. Then there was me, standing alone at the edge of the frame. Smile, steady eyes, searching the crowd for people who were never there. A notification blinked on my phone. "Brooke, we're not going to make it." Something came up. "Love you." Sent 3 hours before their flight. No explanation, no apology. I scrolled further. A second notification, a tag. I tapped it. The screen filled with sunlight, Diane in a white dress, Mark in linen, Brooke in sunglasses. A cliffside chapel behind them, the sea stretched cobalt blue. They were smiling so widely it almost looked rehearsed. Champagne glasses raised, caption "Dreams come true." Family time is the best time. The words sat on my chest like weight. But it was the comments that dug deeper. "Greece looks amazing. You all deserve this getaway." And then my Uncle Ray with the line that cut clean through the scroll. "You're not even a real doctor." 37 likes underneath it. Names I recognized. Names of people who'd eaten at our table, who'd sent me cards growing up, who'd promised they were proud. I read it again slowly this time. Not because I didn't understand it, but because I understood too well. It wasn't surprise. It was confirmation. The room stayed still. Even the refrigerator hum felt distant. I didn't text them. I didn't call. I didn't ask why Santorini mattered more than the one day I had asked them to show up. Instead, I opened the drawer where I kept my documents, the degree I had earned, the scan I'd saved, the invoice for the tickets I'd paid for. I placed the degree down, aligned the edges, placed the invoice beneath it, straightened the corner. Then, with no anger in my hands, I lifted my phone and composed a single email. Attached the degree, attached the invoice, subject line, "Since you forgot." And I hit send. 3 hours after I sent the email, my phone began vibrating across the table. Once, twice, then almost continuously. "Mom," the screen flashed. Then again, and again. I let it buzz until the sound blended into the ambient hum of my apartment. When it finally stopped, I turned the phone face down and opened my laptop instead. The folder was already there from the night before family receipts. I hadn't created it out of spite. I'd created it because something inside me needed proof that I hadn't imagined all of it, that the exhaustion in my bones had a source, that the imbalance had a shape. I clicked it open. At first, it was just a handful of files, payments I'd sent home during residency, heating bills, a transfer I'd covered just until Friday, the amount for Brooke's emergency dental procedure, the down payment for my father's new car. But as I looked at them one by one, I felt something shift. A slow, precise rearranging of my own memories. I opened the payment marked heating repair. The date matched Brooke's spa weekend. I opened the transfer labeled car trouble. The charge had gone through the same hour as a purchase at a luxury watch store. The dental payment, Brooke had posted a cocktail photo with the caption "White Smiles, White Wine" 2 days later. I leaned back in my chair, letting the pieces fall exactly where they had always belonged. The phone buzzed again. Voicemail. I didn't listen, not yet. Instead, I opened another folder, old rotations material I hadn't touched in years. I scrolled through file names until one caught my eye, an audio file dated the same day I'd bought the graduation tickets. A day I remembered clearly, but not completely. I hit play. My voice came first, tired but excited. "Your confirmations should be in your email. Business class seats, the hotel's under my name." Then my mother's voice, syrupy, sweet Helen. "That's a lot of money." "Are you sure you want to spend that much?" My father laughed. "Let the girl do it. She's a doctor now. It's our turn to relax." Brooke's voice chimed in. "If she's even a real doctor. Not like those online programs." "Kidding." "Kind of." More laughter. Then the line that froze everything. "She thinks we're actually going to show up," my father said. "Poor thing. She doesn't realize she's basically our retirement plan." The audio cut off with another burst of laughter. I didn't move for a long time. The room felt colder, like the temperature had dropped a full 10 degrees, but instead of breaking the silence inside, me sharpened. Perfectly. Cleanly. I saved the audio to the new folder, renamed it "Not a Real Doctor Evidence." Then, without rushing, I pressed play on the first voicemail. My mother's voice cracked theatrically. "Sweetheart, we didn't think you'd mind. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You're strong and independent. We thought you'd understand. Delete." Second voicemail. Her tone hardened. "You're being dramatic. You don't get how stressful things have been for us. You should be grateful we raised you." Delete. Third voicemail. The truth, finally. "You didn't even go to a real medical school, Helen. Stop pretending this is Harvard. You embarrassed yourself." I didn't delete this one. I saved it and dragged it into the folder. Then I opened a blank document and typed a list. Housing, utilities, credit accounts, payments attached to my name. House papers for Brooke's apartment, the one everyone insisted was the family's gift to her, even though every bill, every repair, every deposit had come from me. I called my lawyer, a quiet woman named Ellis, who never asked unnecessary questions. "I need to update some responsibilities," I said. She replied, tell me where to start. By noon, we had drafted termination notices for all accounts tied to my name, formal documents to revoke my financial responsibility for the house Brooke lived in, notices to close the credit card my parents used, requests to reroute all utilities back to their actual occupants. No threats, no anger, just clean-line signatures and timestamps. After the call, I turned my phone off and slid it into a drawer. The apartment fell still. I spent the next hour assembling the presentation not out of malice but out of precision, a sequence of images that told the truth without commentary. Slide 1. This is what family looks like when you're just the ATM. Slide 2, payments bills, transfers each labeled neatly. Slide 3, screenshots of Brooke's posts juxtaposed with emergency requests. Slide 4, the grease photo overlaid with the row of empty chairs from my ceremony. Slide 5, the comment from Uncle Ray. You're not even a real doctor. Slide 6, the audio waveform. I tested the projector, checked the transitions, pressed play on the audio once more, not to feel the sting of it, but to confirm its clarity. When everything was ready, I booked a private dining room at a restaurant downtown. The reservation name was mine. I prepaid the deposit. I added 4 extra seats to the table, one for each of them, and one for the person who would say what I no longer needed to. Then I sat at my desk, hands still mind-sharp, breathing steady. For the first time in years, the weight pressing down on my chest had shape edges, boundaries. My plan wasn't revenge. It was administration, a correction of records. The family I thought I had never existed the way I pretended it did. That wasn't my fault, but what happened next would be entirely my decision. I closed the laptop, straightened the papers. This time I whispered to no one, I won't fix what they've broken. The restaurant sat tucked between 2 brick buildings downtown, the kind of place my parents loved posting about but rarely paid for. Warm lighting spilled across the private room as I stepped inside. The table was already set, linen napkins folded into sharp triangles, glasses lined up like they were waiting for a toast no one deserved. I chose the seat closest to the projector and waited. They arrived exactly on time. Diane walked in first, perfume, heavy smile even heavier. "Sweetheart," she said, arms spread as if nothing had happened. Mark followed, patting his stomach like he'd just finished a long day of rest. Brooke trailed last, eyes glued to her phone. None of them noticed the extra chair. "Dinner?" Diane asked lightly, sliding into her seat. "We should celebrate. Your graduation looked lovely online. Shame about the seat, something must have gotten mixed up." I didn't answer. I clicked the remote instead. The lights dimmed. The first slide glowed against the wall. This is what family looks like when you're just the ATM. Brooke's fork froze mid-air. Mark shifted. Diane pressed the napkin to her lips. The next slide appeared. Payments, bills, transfers, each labeled in clean clinical text. Heating repair beside Brooke's spa photo. Car trouble beside the watch store receipt. Emergency dental payment beside her beach cocktail selfie. Silence spread across the table like fog. "You went through our finances," Diane said carefully. "No," I replied. "I went through mine." I clicked again. The grease photo filled the wall, white, chapel blue, water champagne. Beside it, the picture from my ceremony, rows of cheering families, and one empty row with my name printed on each chair. Brooke's breath caught. Mark muttered, "Now, Helen." The next slide cut him off. Uncle Ray's comment in bold letters, "You're not even a real doctor." The room tightened. Diane cleared her throat. Ray was joking. "He got 37 laughs agreeing with him," I said. "Jokes don't usually come with applause." Then I clicked to the final slide, the audio waveform. I pressed play. Their voices filled the room. Diane's soft pity, Brooke's mockery, Mark's laughter, and then the line, "She doesn't realize she's basically our retirement plan." No one moved. Diane's hand dropped from her napkin. Mark's jaw shifted as if searching for a lie that would fit. Brooke's eyes glossed, but not with guilt, only fear. When the audio ended, the room felt airless. "I didn't bring you here to argue," I said. "I brought you here to correct the record." I placed a folder on the table. Plain, thin, organized. These are notices ending every account bill and responsibility tied to my name. The utilities, the credit lines, the payments for the house Brooke lives in. Brooke's voice broke. My apartment legally mine, I said, and now officially no longer yours to use. You can't do this, Mark snapped palms, pressing into the table. I already did, I said. The door opened. Professor Alvarez stepped inside, coat still on. He nodded politely to the table before turning to me. I'm proud of you, he said, loud enough for every person to hear. You earned your place in medicine. I watched you save lives while carrying weight no one else bothered to see. He looked at my parents, then Brooke. You didn't raise a doctor, he added. She became one in spite of you. He left without waiting for a response. No one spoke after that. The projector hummed. The plates stayed full. And for the first time in my life, their silence wasn't something I had to endure. It was something they finally had to sit with. I stood, pushed my chair back quietly, and walked to the door. The dinner is paid for, I said. That's the last bill you'll ever see with my name on it. The townhouse felt different the first night I moved in. Not larger, not brighter, just quiet in a way I hadn't realized I'd been starving for. No vibrating phone on the counter. No incoming urgent messages, no calendar reminders tied to bills that were never mine to carry. Just the low hum of the refrigerator and the soft click of the heating system settling into the walls. I unpacked slowly. 1 mug, 2 plates, a stack of medical textbooks. My degree framed leaned against the wall instead of being hung. I didn't rush to put anything in its place. I wanted to feel the emptiness first, to understand what it meant to live without being watched, weighed, or expected to fix anything. In the mornings, I opened the sliding door to the patio and let the air roll in cool, steady, almost gentle. The Japanese maple in the corner swayed with the kind of calm that doesn't beg for attention. Red leaves moved like small breaths. I stood there with my coffee, both hands around the steel cup, the warmth settling into my skin, and staying there longer than any apology ever had. Calls didn't come, messages didn't arrive. Their silence wasn't a threat anymore. It was a boundary finally functioning the way it should have all along. I spent evenings recording the first episodes of my podcast, Real Doctor Real Life. I didn't mention my family. I didn't name the city or the hospital. I talked about what it means to build a life out of exhaustion, out of persistence, out of the kind of work no one sees unless something goes wrong. I released the first episode quietly, without fanfare. It reached more people than I expected. The ad revenue came in later $14,000, the exact amount I had spent on the tickets they never used. I transferred every cent to a scholarship fund under my grandfather's name. He was the only person who ever told me I didn't need to earn my place to keep it. One evening, I returned home to find an envelope in the mailbox. No return address. Inside was a birthday card, glossy and generic, the kind sold at gas stations. 2 words written in my mother's handwriting. We miss you. I carried it to the patio, struck a match, and watched the paper curl into itself as the flame caught. When it was only ash, I closed the sliding door behind me. The sound it made was soft final. In the weeks that followed, the quiet stopped feeling unfamiliar. It felt earned. My days found their own rhythm clinic coffee, the soft rustle of the maple outside my window. I no longer checked for messages that never came. I no longer waited for apologies shaped like demands. The weight I had carried for decades no longer lived in my hands. Some boundaries are walls. Mine became a doorway. If you want more cold, quiet stories like this where truth speaks louder than noise, subscribe to the channel. New chapters are already being written.